What's up, everybody? It's Ballatw. We got another VOD review up on deck. We got Finnex and Vorwenn. They just played in the Atlantis Tournament last week, and they placed third. And they are some VODs, and they got a bunch of wins. So let's check it out. Basically, we're just gonna go through a bunch of different games, and should be pretty exciting. So, everybody in chat, YouTube has started. We are on YouTube. Everybody say hi, YouTube. Okay, cool. So this is the first game.
Stack lobby.
One thing to note, just to explain really quickly, is the louder person is actually Vorwenn, and the softer person is Finnex. We're not going to be able to hear much of their comms, just because it's not balanced well. So I apologize for that, but I think we're going to get a lot of information just from how they play and what they do. So getting contested and lazy, they already push them off. There. Oh shit! I forgot to actually load my my epic pen tool. Give me a sec, boys. Give me a sec. Epic pen. Okay, we got the pen tool now. Boom. So I already get contested, but they're both low enough so that they can push these guys off, and these guys wisely push off and don't decide to 50-50. So good for them. Actually, no, they're gonna 50-50. Pickaxe in a way. This is so stupid. But actually, this is something that actually happens like fairly decent. It's fairly often at Lazy, is that everybody wants to land on this house because this is the position of strength, right? So if you're landing on top of this house, you get this chest, you can immediately go up and then shoot everybody else at all these little outposts, and it's really good. So everybody wants this house, so it's actually really common to 50-50 here. If you watch Blue Tea, if you watch EMAD, anybody who contests them, they literally will do this a lot, and it's just the person who lands first and pickaxes them away. It's stupid, but yeah, you don't have to worry if you guys land first and 50-50 this spot. Common 50-50 spot in Lazy is on top of the main building because it's a position of strength. So that's what I want you guys to take from that. Not the fact that, oh, you should 50-50 the spot. You should not 50-50 any spot if you can avoid it. But it's very common if you like to land lazy to freaking go on top of this place. And the biggest thing is, this applies to everywhere else, is this position of strength, right? This position of strength thing. Because when you're on top of this building, you can see tennis court, you can see this chest, you can see the guys looting around the pool, you can see the guys at the like little golf store. All that stuff is possible. You can see behind you at gas station or at the parking lot. Everything is open to you. So that's what it is. Bot is kind of laggy. Yeah, whole stream is freezing. That might have been just because I had my hold on, we're gonna restart the stream. We're gonna restart the stream because I see it on the Twitch stream. So we'll be back. Be right back. Much better. Good stuff. That's what I figured it was. Thank you for that, to push me into actually doing that. So we're good. The rest of the contesting was like really boring, so we don't really need to watch it. But we will continue now. Onwards and forwards, my friends. Thank you so much for bearing with me. Thank you. So I'm really good with that. Lazy is kind of boring. There's a lot of stuff that goes into Lazy. There's a lot of stuff around. Juggling a sniper over, and that's pretty funny. You have to spend a lot of time like on the outskirts. The mats are like really spread out in Lazy, unfortunately. There's no like, there is decent mats, like look at the materials that they have, but they're really spread out. You could see how you went all the way up here to get some trees and some cars and all this stuff. You have to go so many different places, so you don't actually have that much time to loot. Unfortunately, sometimes you leave Lazy with not the greatest loot.
Top 5, but we need top 12.
Good in terms of weapons, but his heals are seriously lacking.
Yeah, so we just have to be alive every single game, basically. Some people will fuck up the deep.
So ATKs over the airplanes, I think is gonna be the play for the most part. But no airplanes there. ATK, dude. When's the last time you seen people actually use ATKs? Funny.
People hiding in this. Someone lying in front of us. You saw us. How do you want to hold us?
Okay, so this is going to be an awkward position, right? Because the zone just closed. They need to get a plane if they want to make it towards zone. If they want, they could just like kind of back off to the right over here if they want, and that would bring them in an awkward path this way. But zone is that way, so And if they go this way, they know they're going to run into issues as well. So this is kind of a fight that you want to be able to push these guys off or kill them or whatever. Additionally, it still is early second zone, so I'd still want to get something better over here in this section. Maybe upgrade my shotgun. I need mobility. I need a bunch of stuff. So, oh my goodness. I need a bunch of stuff still, so I'm comfortable fighting here. Looks like they zipped away, actually. Just good for them. I think the people who were there need to zip away.
What are you doing? Is he hiding inside?
I've got nades, so I can throw him in there.
Wait.
Oh.
That's actually a great boombox. Great boombox. Look how they are dealing with people who don't really want to fight them, and they don't really want to fight them either, but they need to take this position safely. So Finnex gets up on high ground and Vorwenn gets up on the side of the mountain. They're a little bit split. There's a little bit of distance between these guys, and then they clear the house with a boombox. This is really nice, because if there is somebody in here, they both have high ground on them. It's going to be really, really hard for this guy to take anything. And then they also have two slightly different angles. We always talk about slightly different angles, but this is one application where before the fight you can set up nice pre-fight setup on the guy. Possibly, we don't even know there's a guy there, but they're still doing it, right? Hiding in the plane depot. Because if there is, they don't want to give this up, and if they end up trying to push him, like breaking walls and stuff like that, then there's opportunities for the guy to one-on-one somebody. So this is a really nice way to try to clear this out. Not even there. He zipped away.
Perfect. We can take a plane then.
He zipped away. Perfect, perfect, perfect.
So this.
He's taking their separate plane. We know that's correct.
Behind paradise. Maybe that shit's unloaded.
They're looking for extra loot. You can see here, maybe this shit's unlooted. There's still 69 people up, so they do need to be careful. I mean, there's a pretty good chance that this shit is gonna be already looted, just like he said, because there's so many people in the server and so many people still alive. When you loot here, you're typically gonna run into people, and this is a fine. That would have been an okay fight to take. Oh, actually, Vorwenn's pushing.
My Monka ass. They want to move at me though. They're W king hard.
Okay, I wasn't expecting Vorwenn to take another fight with some other people, so that was maybe a mistake by one of them on miscomming, because Finnex didn't realize that Vorwenn saw a different person, and Vorwenn didn't know that Finnex saw a different person. So a little bit of miscomms, but immediately Vorwenn says what he's doing. Oh, they're build fighting me, and then Finnex comes back with a plane and tries to ram him off of high ground, and then jumps out eventually. So they don't want to waste too much for them this though. So I don't want to talk about fucking plane tactics. Watch how this fight unfolds. Turtles down. They both turtle down. He tries to get towards them. There it is.
They went to me so bad.
This is nice. They both get to the same zone. Now this is the third party that we talked about. Finnex found these guys earlier. But they have a good position in zone. Look, notice how you can't even see the outline of the zone over here. That means they're pretty centered zone. I'm happy with this.
Yeah,
the only thing is they probably need to find these kills. Because their loot is trash.
No, I thought it was one guy, and then one other guy came out with a fucking
butt Finnex?
Pressure,
Right, so they actually decide to try to be a little aggro here.
Yeah, they wanted to dip.
Nice.
Just don't let them take anything.
This is actually like completely opposite to what we would have seen. This is nice. This is nice. You saw how Vorwenn let Finnex just hold the walls and hold the stuff, while they acted like they were gonna sit here forever. They acted like it. They're just holding, but they know they need to do something. And so they backed them off into this box that's a little bit more comfortable for them. They have a little bit more edits. There's everything around them is theirs. And then Finnex finally get to a position where they can hold with one person, and then Vorwenn edits out that side and gets that guy. I'm pretty sure he tagged him pretty good. He might have missed though.
He has this above me.
Okay. Immediately calling the situation. He has this. That's really nice. Let's write down the stuff that Vorwenn did. Backing up, acting like you aren't gonna go on the aggro. Once you have your ideal space. Vorwenn baited them and Edit played while trying to replace. It was good. Basically keeps them distracted, catches them off guard, because you gave them the impression that you were sitting there in your box and you weren't going to do anything. So once you give them that impression, then all of a sudden they're like, oh, he's just going to sit there and hold turbo build. But then Vorwenn comes out and gets a nice kill. Yeah, so he replaces this and he edits this pyramid really nicely. This is why pyramids are so good in comparison to stairs. It's much easier to edit them in tight spots.
The other guy using bandits, bro. He has no shield. The other guy is using bandits.
That's a really good call. This guy's using band-aids. He has no shields because Vorwenn just tagged him. So that was a really good call. Listening for the band-aids. That's not something that I've heard much, actually. And specifically, not that he's healing isn't the thing that Vorwenn gets out of that. It's that he is on white HP. He knows he's low, right? He doesn't have any shields. Taking gives you knowledge that they don't have shields if you had just tagged them. So that gives you the idea to target that guy. So you can see immediately once that call is made, once he hears that they're using band-aids, they both edit out and they're starting to go ahead and start to put pressure on him. That guy is low.
Expanded. Yes.
He moves out of the way. That's expected. That's really nice. Placing that pyramid all the way up. You can place pyramids from a little bit farther, so it's much easier to place that pyramid. So since you can place the pyramids from farther, you can do that nicely. Okay, I think they basically push these guys off. These guys don't want none anymore.
One of them, they clapped. Like he was using bandits.
Here's the third party, or they're shooting at the third party or something like that. That's not his wall. It's awkward.
We could easily get high on these guys.
We have the zone.
We knew they were gonna get zoned because it was so perfect. So perfect.
No, they don't. Like the only thing that we need to worry is that
Country Roads playing in the background, by the way. It's hilarious. This man listening to music in like a tournament. Okay, nothing happening. These guys are just turtle above them. Still, man, the situation now for them is really dire. Honestly, this is something that you're gonna have to deal with in these tight lobbies, though. Look how many people there are. There's 65 left in the third zone. Just appeared. It's about to start closing.
Right now. One of them is
also something to note that's really interesting, and I don't really truly understand it. Is that
maybe we can, yeah.
If he turns around, the EU players are always like editing their walls like this rather than keeping them as triangles or anything else. They're editing like this, and I think it's just to get better mobility throughout it. And there's these tight, nice 90-degree sides rather than like the curved angles. So there's no like risk of like mything yourself, I guess, and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just something to note. And I don't truly understand it. It's probably not a huge benefit. It's just a difference that EU players do this versus NA players. That's good. So let's actually write this down. Half vertical. This is like super common in EU.
We'll get shots at from everywhere.
Just gives you more space, I guess.
Look northwest.
Yeah,
it's very, very minor though. Very, very minor.
Oh, I was about to snipe him.
The ammo situation is rough. I don't know.
Mando skin.
So what I was gonna say, with the amount of people that are up still, like this is very much what you're gonna be facing in a tournament. You're gonna be put in these rough spots, and you're not gonna be able to get out and go farm. So this is what you do. You literally just sit tight. Stuff will come to it.
Like, we're actually in a good position. Like we have only like 3 teams close to us, and the guys on top are fighting or something. Yeah.
I use a 3,500 bit rate when I'm streaming.
Oh my god,
Bro, what are you talking about? That is so funny.
We cannot take his loot. That's one.
Back to 42 total.
Yeah, I will snipe him.
Oh no, are you
Wait,
kidding
wait,
me?
wait. One.
What?
I thought they were all gonna slide off.
He got knocked.
Yeah.
That would have been so awkward,
They're on
dude.
zone. We can keep pressure. Oh, there. Oh, he's fucking pressing.
Holy
Yeah,
sniper
he
was
will
just
rest.
move, bro.
So
He will
calling
rest.
that they don't have
He
zone,
will rest.
they can make a play on them if they want to grab some more
These guys need to move.
more
They can
loot.
Oh, they moved.
Okay, the people above finally
We can
left.
legit move for free on the way.
Let's
On
go
the
now.
right side.
Let's go now.
Yeah, we can.
Behind us.
It's people on the hill. It's people on the hill.
I can
Oh,
nade him.
Sagging
I
and
can nade
going.
him.
So look, the decision making there. These guys left immediately. They're like, okay, we can make a play, and then they say they basically know they're going to make that play. But as they make that play, they know what things they need to pay attention to. There's people on the hill, he said. These guys are on the hill. They could take shots when they try to get in the zone. But they still go. There's no slow rolling of the decision, right? When they make a decision to rotate, they start and they relay the important info while starting. They don't sit in their box and like, oh, there's a guy on the hill over there. There's a guy on the hill over there. And then they push forward. So that decision is very important to just go.
Go. I'm just gonna nade him.
Yeah, go over them. Yeah, go over.
This is cool too, nading them so that because they know they're gonna start pressuring them. So they nade them. It's a double-edged sword, right? Just because they nade them, they might now decide to aggro because they're like, these motherfuckers, they're nading us. I hate you.
Oh, it's not even taken.
They're not actually in the.
Oh yeah, because they're taking the airdrop. They're taking the airdrop. There was an airdrop here southeast. They're inside this like boxes in front of us.
So that was pretty lucky for them because they decided to go get the airdrop while everybody was rotating in. They must have needed something, but this is great. Now they have a decent base on height because they built on these people who are gone now, and because of that, the mat situation isn't as bad for them. They definitely need more mats, but it's okay because they know that they can get a kill and they can get the mats. So this is not panicking when you're in shambles, even though you are in shambles.
They're in wood right here, southeast.
I don't see it.
Right here. Right here.
I don't want to get sniped by the hill, dude. Where are they? Oh, yeah. In this one? Oh, I see him. He's under us. Yeah, right under us.
So this is finding mistakes by the opponents right here. No, he's not putting pyramids on top, basically, on all this stuff. So they can easily sneak in their base if they want to. They basically just jump on top and pressure, or they can just get chip damage on people. So immediately recognizing mistakes by opponents who make base without coning their top. He almost got damage on that one guy.
I can make them go under us if you want me to. Okay. I have the edits. I can just throw a fucking loot box there. Yeah.
I think they do want to fight them, but they got to be careful with the third party. This is the right play for those guys, by the way. As soon as they get boombox, to just get the fuck away from the boombox, because otherwise they're just gonna get spammed.
Oh, right beneath us, not
Spam.
One. I down him.
Nice.
They tried to snap me though. Wait to fucking kill him. He's resting, probably.
What? What is this guy doing?
That's well played.
He lagged out. What happened? He must have lagged out or something.
Oh,
Bro, they got blessed. Are you kidding me? This is why you never need to panic. Even if you're shambles, you can get situations like this, man. You can get situations like this. The rift to go, all the mats. Like, come on. This is an example of shambles to riches in 5 seconds. Don't panic just because you're in shambles. Just play your game. You might get the heals. You might get the mats. You might get the mobility. Just gifted to you. And that was a good use of, like, they were clearly doing a good job paying attention around them and all sorts of stuff. They got a launch pad. They got a rift to go. Bro. Loot delivery system.
I just one. You carried the other one, right? You carried it.
yeah.
Okay. Oh. We're good. We're good.
Get in, guys. Get in.
Okay, we can go back up.
Do you want to launch pad this zone or?
Oh, do you have a launch pad? Yeah, I have a launch pad as well. Yeah, true.
Do you need to? I'm gonna put down the campfire. Just I don't think we have to use it again.
Oh yeah, just put it down. You have a lot of mats. I'm 703.
Yeah, I'll split.
Yeah, it's good.
They're not great on mats yet.
I did have- I
This
did have
VOD was
one
like
break.
4 or 5 days
No,
ago, I
they
think.
don't, I will take them.
Last week.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you have way more than me, bro. Take them. I don't have no break. Okay, we're good here. We should shoot the planes though. We're not spotting this one though.
They have the ammo to shoot the
just
planes down now, and
Where are we landing though? We should land mid ground, right? Like to the hill.
yeah.
Yeah, we should land mid ground. Be careful with the zipline though. Be careful with the zipline. Just land mid ground.
landing mid-ground, they know to call that beforehand. They need to get on the side of this mountain for sure.
I'm legit with you. We're good, we're perfect. We're perfect. Like, the turtle is bigger,
I love the calls that we're good. We're chilling. Very nice.
Leave it.
Open.
They don't really have an angle there that they can grab
clap.
anything else.
We can clap. They're going down.
I dropped.
Ooh.
Thrown ahead.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw somebody else do that, but that's a good point. Just in case nobody knows, you basically go to one corner, somebody goes to the other, and you both split, and then you swap and walk and pick up the persons who split, and then you basically have equal mats from there. So splits technique for mats, 2 separate corners, split, then come back, and then switch. It's very nice.
He's gone out the other way.
Yeah, he's going up. Okay. We cannot kill him. We fucked him up already.
I have
Do you have a lot of traps?
I have 2.
Okay. Give me up.
So many people up still. This is very
so we have a
nice.
lot of
51
AR,
moving
50
zone.
I'll split over here.
All right, so
50,
position wise,
so-
looks like they're going towards fake junk, and there's like another like slight peak over here. So they need to be aware of that, and they might want to rift once they get close to it.
Come here. I think we can get an edit here.
They might want to
Yeah.
rift on
Probably
top
yes.
of that.
Yeah,
Possibly.
It's right here. Be careful.
I'm not too thrilled with the way that they're
Okay,
shooting at
I
the
hit it
same
like 4
same wall
We're gonna
together.
rip this one. We're gonna rip.
Kind of useless, and you can see they're not really getting any damage done
I
on
still
them.
have a lot of thinkers. So
Same
we're
guy
perfect.
over here.
Bro, just
But like taking these shots randomly, it is
You can go
it
more
is
in,
getting
yeah.
chip damage every
Go
once
in.
in a while, especially with this many people up. This is super laggy because of just how many people are up, how many people are building, all this stuff. So it must be super laggy.
Oh,
come on there, it's good. Jump.
And again, catching people off guard, if you're not shooting them for a while, all of a sudden they get shot and they're not ready to turbo build and stuff like that.
so they didn't
They got third, yeah, they got third.
Just be ready for it. Okay. Go now. Oh my FPS 40.
There's people on the top. We have no explodes.
Okay, so this rift is
We're just
good.
gonna
They
go
might
to
not
the-
make to the mountain though.
We have to land together. We should.
Oh, it's
we
not
should
going
go
on the
for-
mountain. It's not going on the mountain.
Mid ground, you mean?
See below me. There's one guy on height.
Couldn't quite see it.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah. I know him.
This guy did a very
it.
poor job paying
Just gave it to
attention. I have it. He just gave it
That's
to
why
me.
I
Oh,
attach-
thank
I will
you.
attach it to the bottom.
Way to be blessed.
The FPS
Bless
is so bad.
up,
Okay, you
dude.
have it. The zone is back to somewhere. They rifted. Bro, poor
Yes, this is EU scrims. This is the Atlantis Tournament.
What is going on?
God, so laggy.
This is sky base, bro. I help with you. We have enough mats. And I will attach it. I'll go one down.
Oh my God, it's so laggy, dude.
Yeah, right, gonna happen here. Yeah.
Oh my. Stop fight.
Oh!
It's completely
Very
attached to the
nice.
bottom. I'm gonna do
All they're focused on is staying
hard
up.
mats now. I'm gonna do hard mats.
They saw anybody
I have
fighting and
enough
then they
mats, I have enough
stopped
mats to
to shoot the
I have
rifters
bandits
and stuff like
so I will
that.
give it to you. Come, take the
This is
bandits.
super wide, very hard to knock out without any RPGs, and we don't hear any RPGs, so I'm not too worried.
Bro. You will win the heal game. They're not shooting us. They're shooting the one under us. It's perfect. Nice.
Nice way to stay out of the zone.
I keep doing hard mats.
This is going over
Maybe
hill.
attach to the mountain. Yeah, I'm attaching to mountain. I'm gonna attach to mountain.
Rift.
People battling as well. Okay, rift. Shoot the rift. Shoot the rift. Shoot the rifters. Yeah.
Gus.
Hit him. He's wide. He's wide.
Down.
Nice.
60
Attach to the
FPS.
rift. I mean to the hill. It's perfect.
This is free, guys.
We're legit chilling, bro.
This is free.
Wait, in this box.
Literally nobody paying attention to them. It's because it's chaos on the low ground. Just because it's going over a mountain again. It's literally chaos.
I have 80 mats.
Absolute chaos.
Okay, there's only something on the other side of the hill. We win. We win.
I've met okay, never mind.
Hit him. Down. Nice. He's getting hit. Everyone's getting hit, bro. You win the hill game, 100%.
And just stinking the path. This is really nice. Stinking the path that they all have to come up, because anybody who gets stunk is not going to want to stay in it. They're either going to want to try to get back away from it, or they're going to try to barrel their way through, and either one is fucking awful for them. So it's really nice. Really nice. Stinking people who are struggling to get over a hill.
Everyone is low HP. Keep shooting.
This is so free, bro.
Look at these guys, bro. What the bro.
Bro, that is so funny, man.
Yeah, we fucking clapping, bro. I said it.
Easy
GG's,
claps.
bro.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, bro. Faster. I will end.
Okay, so yeah, okay, this is the next game. Before we get to the next game, I do want to briefly talk about the way that they snipe in EU. Just because it is a hot topic right now, and I made a post on Reddit and all this stuff. This is the Atlantis Scrim Discord. This is basically the Kinsey bot in service. They don't use the Discord to do the countdown. They just use the Discord to basically just share the link for the lobby, and basically the bot like does latency correction and all the stuff. So it's really nice. They have a lot of people in there, and they have a leaderboard. And for this tournament, for this specific tournament that we're watching, the leaderboard was over like 3 days of scrimming. They had a leaderboard, and the top like 2,000 or something like that got invited to this private scrim lobby where there's like 2,000 or whatever, and they just played these over the day, over like a few hours. I think it was 5 or 6 hours or something like that. So it's not really custom, but it's a private. It's basically like having a private Discord where you're sniping, but it's all keyed, and they're keeping track of points and so on and so forth. So it's what I would consider is like a localized pop-up cup type thing without the pop-up cup rules or anything like that. So this is what I want NA Prac to do, and I think we can do this all the time, all the freaking time. So in solos, literally they get 99 people lobbies. They get packed lobbies. They get duos that are packed. They get all this stuff, and they don't deal with any bullshit about inviting people or anything like that, because the leaderboards tell them.
Perfect.
So that's that situation, guys. If you want a little bit more education on it, or what I think we can do in NA, you can go check out the post on Reddit right now. It's on the front page, or you can look at my Twitter. It's on there as well. I've been replying all day to people. I think that's what we need to do in Prac, and I hope we can convince people to do that. And this will kind of serve an example of as what is possible. I mean, we just saw 60-person moving zone, and it's not like they were all. I mean, we saw a lot of not great players, but it's not like they are all complete crazy psychos, because these are selected because they did perform well throughout the few days. So I agree, John.
People is on top
I agree.
Of me right
Let's
now.
move on to the VOD
So
review. We won't talk about that again. I just wanted to kind of clear that for anybody who's curious what these snipes are. This is the Atlantis Tournament.
You can't?
No.
I can't landing.
Land south.
Okay, landing south. So this is what I mean when you need options off of your drops. Just because you push for a specific position does not mean you need to always commit to the same spot. You need to have a backup. He says land south. If it's a different spot, you might say, okay, we're trying to land doghouse, but oh, that's not working. Let's go to modern or something like that. You always have and you he scuffed his drop, but obviously that's not always the case, and this is still useful when you get contested. You need to be able to back to a different path to give you a position to fight back from. Okay, so
What's it? I'm landing on this lerp though. I got it. I'm just running with this lerp in my hand.
running with a slurp in his hand, you land on a slurp. Okay, nice. This is a pretty covered position from the strength position that I talked about before, just because the pool's in the way, the buildings are in the way. I think there's like, this is, yeah, there's the little walls. This is good. And you can see how he's kind of sneaking around. Look how he broke through this wall. This is nice in order to avoid anybody who's just sitting on top. Looks like the other team didn't do that, so they're much more comfortable. They're just kind of roam around. It's a lot more awkward when you look and there's a 1x1 on top. Like that's something that Tfue does in Westworld and stuff like that. So I don't know anything about the test event that Epic is running. I have no clue. No freaking clue.
Oh, Scar, let's go. I have more minis.
Yeah, more minis, perfect, man.
Nice. That was a nice, well executed like option where they landed over here and just sweeped quickly over to the side, and now these people who landed at the house are gonna be in trouble. So we'll skip
one right now.
till we get the fight.
Yeah, my mats are good with you.
I'll see.
I don't know if they're on roof or not.
I see them. They're on the back. Hit him wide. One. I guess he had a sniper too.
So this is nice.
He's gonna push you. He's gonna push you 100%.
I love that he immediately goes for the res rather than kind of just stick around and try to fight them and see what they're gonna do. He just goes for it. This gives him the most opportunity to actually pick him up, and then he hears him and says, "Okay, never mind. I need to fight." So 1v2. He kind of protects. Vorwenn actually gets in a nice protected position there, but I do want to know immediately going for the res to see if they don't commit to fighting or they are slow or whatever, because specifically he also got that guy white. Got that guy white, so he knows. He knows that they might decide right, because the guy is white. He needs to know, oh, I could actually get clapped here, so he doesn't necessarily want to push. But as soon as he hears them pushing, he backs off and builds a little bit so that Vorwenn is harder to thirst. Most of them, it's harder to thirst Vorwenn. So, regardless,
you can.
Like, I don't understand.
The other guy's pushing though.
That's weird. Okay, this guy's a bot.
This guy from the back, I think. Yeah.
That was the guy who's low.
I picked like I legit took my fucking head.
Dum da dum dum da dum. Ooh, that's cool. I didn't know you could get down here and farm this. Get down in the pond and farm the side for more brick. That's really nice. If you're a lazy dropper, you can actually loot that.
It's 25 teams, but they're gonna play for the win. Like
very nice.
It is. Oh, metal. GG.
That's good. Perfect. I have a. Oh,
They're going the other way.
in front of you, west.
Okay, I got you.
2 rift to goes, man. Did they buy those?
Is it the? No, because perfect. To farm it fast. It's metal.
Yeah, they
I'm not
bought.
taking it then. No, can't.
Oh, port worth for 300 brick. Oh.
It's so nice, and he stayed in zone to get to. That is blessed. Always check the freaking vending machines. Can get blessed. You can get blessed. It is so worth to spend a little bit of extra time. Little bit of extra time farming Even at risk of zone / rotating to get rift-to-goes, grapplers, launch pads, mobility, heals, all that stuff. It's so worth to check the freaking launch pads.
We get 2 or 3.
I will get 2.
Oh, have you formed an opinion on the new redeploy worth picking up or not? No, it's not worth picking up.
No,
Unless you literally have nothing else to pick up, I don't think it's worth picking up.
Not that good.
Just not good in late game.
Oh, is it combined? We can legit take legit for. Wait,
Wait, hang on, get up in. Came back
Bro,
down.
bro, they're fighting. Like, I can legit yoink that. Look at my yoink. Okay, I'm carrying this.
Look at my yoink.
You use a weak spot?
I don't need to.
I would probably use the rift. Yep.
Nice.
Oh, they got hit. It's unfortunate. I would have used that rift sooner, but that's nice. Early second zone fighting for drops is a really good. It's really good. This is the same position that you want to be fighting for anything in any way. I think going for the drops are really good. Just really, really good. And he could rift out. That's perfectly fine. And using your mobility is fine if you get what you need from whatever you want. So they got a scar. They got extra heals. Get what you need from loot, from fighting. And then if you have to, rift away to not lose your position of strength with loot. So if you are set up, if you got mats, if you have everything you want, just use your mobility to get away from people who are gonna want what you have, right? They're fighting people who are like, this guy, there was a guy on the hill who wanted the drop. This guy wanted the drop. They got it and then said, okay, I have what I want, I'm out. And they just leave. There's no point in fighting these guys at all on the side of zone
It's good.
anymore, right? They got what they want. They're out of there. They could still use a little bit more mats, but that fight is hella risky.
We're getting shot.
Hella risky.
It's good. It's good. We have a spur, shield, and everything.
Yeah. I got campfire as well.
Yeah, and this little hill.
Yeah, landed this.
There's people on top. And there's people on top of the other one.
Yeah. Just make wait,
Yeah,
do you want to sit on campfire?
No, just take the chit.
Yeah, taking the chug is the right idea. The chugs are not something you want to hold in your inventory. They're gonna go take a house of some sort. Yeah, they're gonna take that house really nice. Or minis. This is nice. Always checking all the vending machines, knowing your vending machine spots. There's one there, there's one there, there's one more up in Pleasant. They've gotten so much from vending machines. You just got minis from vending machines even. And another drop. It's starting to get a little risky to go for this drop, but this is on the side of the map, so this is really nice. Off on the side of the map, things are a little bit easier to take than on the inside of the map.
They jump out.
It's one guy,
We can take the head. His teammate, I think, is gliding. Is the guy with the plane. I'm pretty sure. Not 100%, but pretty sure.
That guy should be pressuring. It's really nice that he was able to wait till the last second there. You can rely on your reflexes, especially now that the wall is fixed in the floor. So relying on reflexes to react to someone who can shoot you while you are rotating, rather than spending the mats to preemptively block. Obviously, if it's a lot of people, you want to preemptively block because you can't react to like 7 different people gonna open stuff on you.
I'm getting W kid.
He's getting W keyed by a plane.
I'll take that.
I am twice showed.
Okay, I'm just farming.
Taking that opportunity. It was nice.
We could just go all the way around, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of want to push this guy. He's alone.
Yeah.
Hey, Picancho, how you doing? VOD review's going well.
Okay, I agree.
It's fun. That's really nice how he built up. Instead of like wasting time editing, he kind of built a floor, and then as soon as it passed through, he built another floor. That's cool. Something that you can probably implement pretty easily. Instead of editing to grab the drop into your box, you just built up and placed a floor right as it passed. That was nice. Anyways, moving on.
Oh, it HP healing though. Can you put a
present.
Oh, not yet.
A porta fort.
Oh, it's one guy.
A heavy sniper. They're good. They realize he's solo. He's been solo for the longest time, so they can push this guy now.
He's under me.
And he's also staying in one box, meaning he doesn't really want to spend mats. He's not spending too much mats. And the fact that he's on one box, guys, you got to recognize this. When he's on one box, you can pressure from all sides. If you extend your box, then it's much harder to pressure from all sides. So recognizing players are solo and taking advantage of people who sit in one box. I was telling somebody in this the other day, the viewer VOD reviews, the viewer submissions, that when somebody's in one box, you can start the fight at an advantage. You can start the fight on opposite sides of the box, and sure, they can try to make a play, but you're already pressuring. If you're pressuring before they start to try to even make a play, if you're shooting that from one side and shooting that from the other, there's no way that this guy can even do anything. So this is just nice play. You can see Vorwenn goes on the other side, Finnex comes on this side, and it's easy claps from here. There's literally nothing this guy can do. They both have edits. They both have edits.
Long class, bro.
And he tries to go out to one side, but as soon as the guy tries to go to one side, there's an open spot. So very nice.
This guy, man, fucking double king us. I want to use a campfire though.
Yeah, come here.
There's people west. You see them? Just in here. West.
What do you mean?
Okay.
You would. They're not there. Okay. Just staying like this, bro. I'm just in the fight. Go.
No mats. Wait for.
I got balls on using this.
What the? What are you doing,
nothing.
guys?
Just hide.
What happens here?
These guys blow us the move.
We got legit free rotation on the right. Oh.
What happened?
Wait, I think they're pushing. They're pushing on top of us. What?
We should just hide.
This is a really odd push for these guys, but again, you got to get what you need. If you don't have something to get in, then you got to do something.
No?
I don't understand how that situation happened, but
Wait.
what just
are
happened?
you doing, guys?
They had nothing, bro. They had to push probably.
This is the strength of immediately extending your boxes. So they were in one over here, and they made their box a 2x2, 2x2x1, and then they basically. Ooh, this is cool actually. I don't know if this is something. This is probably unintentional, but it's something that is actually very good. A 2x2, the main play when people try to pressure you. Say you have this quartered off like this, right? The main play, if you guys are both over here, one person goes into this side and one person goes into this side. And now, if there is any pressure, the best pressure that they can get is pressure from here and pressure from here at the same time, right? Or pressure from here and pressure from here. But that's not great. You know, it's adjacent pieces you can easily turbo build, and what can happen is now this guy can make a play on the side and make an attack on the side. So basically what I'm saying is, and then if they decide to try to go into a box like this, they can get trapped. So they set up a really nice flank pretty much instinctively. You didn't hear them talk about it at all, but Vorwenn went to this side and Finnex went to this side, and these guys ended up in this box and got completely clapped. So really nice little split that like happened instinctually. Instinctual split in a 2x2 and quick setup of the 2x2x1 when they got pushed. Enemies tried to pressure. They were way too aggro and fell into a trap that was set up because of 2x2 setup. Basically, Finnex and Vorwenn went to opposite corners. They fell into a box that they both had edits on. So they both had edits on that side. That was really nice. Thank you for the 2 bits. Appreciate it, man.
I will take the bandits for the heal game. Move normal. Look at the. You wanna them? 100%.
Okay, so watch from pretty much this position.
These guys are getting stink. Maybe they try
42
to
up. Not as many as the last one, but still a lot.
These guys are gonna move earlier, dude. You guys under us.
I'm very concerned about the possibility of this hill being a thing. And what is this? This is chair? Is this around chair? No, this is by new facts, maybe? I'm not sure. Maybe chair, maybe new facts. I don't know. but there's definitely some stuff even farther south that will have
Perfect time.
big high ground.
They move.
Oh, everything on them.
Big
Like,
high
going forward is
ground.
their thing. Or everything and stuff. We can legit move good. And we should try to move normal, and if they force us to use the rift, then we use it, right? Look at the guys in the middle though, West.
Nice. When you hear a deagle, you need to like be so scared of that deagle noise, because this wall was here, and then like he wasn't aware, he didn't visually see this, but I didn't even hear the wall break, but he did hear the deagle sound. You just got to look around, make sure that you're covered, because he could have easily gotten popped. That deagle sound needs to inflict fear.
West.
Yeah.
Yeah, West. Yeah.
Oh wow. So that was sick. He heard the rift keys come out, basically the little jingle when somebody pulls it out.
Oh.
I want to see if we can hear it.
Look at the guys in the middle though, West. They legit maybe rift. They legit made rift, bro. With West.
Yeah.
Yeah, West. Yeah.
No, okay. He actually didn't hear anything, I think he just called. He just had the game sense to know that these guys are building in metal and they're not moving, they're not editing, they're not doing anything. And he says, I think these guys might rift because they're in metal and they're on the side of the zone. So this is a really nice gameplay call, or game sense call by Vorwenn.
Go for it.
Yes.
Nice.
Very nice.
And there we go.
Very nice. And they were definitely in shambles to make that. Oh, they weren't in shambles. They have their own rift. They have a porta fortress and stuff like that. But
no, not on top of the hill.
nice call, Vorwenn. Nice call. Decide to know that the people on the side of the map not being aggro, not showing themselves, not trying to make any rotate, all building in metal will rift. He preemptively knew that they were going to make rifts, and they started going towards them before. So that was just a really nice call.
Should go down.
Yeah, land, like, you see blade,
Bejo call, Bejo call.
Okay. Metal? Yeah, that's it.
Ooh! He accidentally didn't build that.
I'm under you. With you.
So staying low ground, because they know that if they try to go high, they're probably gonna get beamed, and they have the rift. So you can stay low ground as much as possible until you want to use the rift, and then all of a sudden you're gonna be high ground. That's gonna be the play. We're gonna see it.
Right under you.
We're gonna see it.
I'm just gonna take shots, okay? People need some more. I laser 1K.
So let me actually write that. Staying low ground when you have the rift, making yourselves as small as possible. I say as small as possible, but what I mean by that is basically not dragging attention to yourself, not spending too many mats, just basically making yourself as unnoticeable as possible, trying to hide it in plain sight, and then rifts when you need to take height at the proper position based on what you have for mats, what you have for a rotate path. Like if they have a free rotate path, they're not going to spend mats. I mean, they're not going to spend mats to go, sorry. If you have a free rotate path, they're not going to spend the rift, because if they have it free, that means they're going to be able to basically get there without spending too many materials or anything like that. And what that does basically allows them to extend when they use that rift. If they use it later, then they can basically tarp way harder on high ground, and they can basically control the game from high ground. So depending on what position in the game you want to know how much it's going to take to hold high ground.
High laser one, I will call it out, but there's too many people. There's the people on the turret close to us. Be careful.
I think we rift next zone.
White, knocked. East. We should east. I knocked one of them. East, the brick. I legit knocked one. Wait, bro. I'm getting shot by somewhere.
I legit knocked one. I love it.
Oh, Healy? Legit.
Legit chilling. Oh,
Yeah, I got stabbed by the same guy. Yeah, same. I got stabbed
what
by
an
the same
angle,
guy.
dude.
I don't even know where.
No.
Bro, I just
Yikes,
got
dude.
20 meds.
Yikers.
You good?
You got meds?
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, you don't have minis anymore.
Okay. All good, all good, all good. Nothing really to note there. The one thing that was interesting though, how Vorwenn stayed underneath while Finnex was up top before, and that basically allowed them to kind of come at that guy in the box from two separate angles that are really awkward, because one guy's coming at him from the top, and if only, I mean, ideally, say this is the box, right, that the guy is in. There's a guy in here, okay? The situation was Finn was on top. This is Finnex. This is Vorwenn, right? It's two separate walls, and it is one above. But again, these walls are adjacent. The floor and the wall is adjacent, but it is replacing a pyramid and a floor versus a wall. So it is, at least this guy has to spend a little bit more than basically just moving his mouse, right? He actually has to do a little bit. But the best push would be if Vorwenn could get underneath and push from this side. Obviously that's not possible in all situations, but just another thought of how to penetrate a little bit of a one by one. We'll take a note how bottom side wall while Finnex getting at the top side pyramid floor. This is better than an adjacent wall attack, basically. I don't know how to describe it more than, or to call it besides an attack. I don't know. What's up, Kinzel? Kinzel! Is it Kinzel or Kinzel? I gotta figure that out. I've always called it Kinzel, but I'm a bot, so. Okay. Ballatw for World Cup announcer. Let's go. Ballatw for World Cup analyst, dude. Hashtag it. Hashtag it.
No, nice.
That would be a freaking dream. I can't even imagine, dude.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We take 2 ticks. It's good. We'll bend this.
It's on the hill. It's on the. Oh. Hey.
Very nice rift late. And it's a good rift to use it because it's going on the side of the hill. So every time you have a rift, the first thing you should think of is, can I take a hill with this rift? Because the rift is so much better than a launch pad or anything else to take a hill. You can, if you need to, you can tank the storm. You can do so much with a rift to get a hill. So, and you rift, immediately ask the question, and I take any natural high. Okay, whether you need to tank the storm to do it or something like that.
We can land the brick on the left, northwest. And we can skybase from that. Like we can legit layer on top. No, they're doing it already. They're doing it.
It's only one guy.
No, it's two. We can.
Okay, that's cool as well. Listen how they were deciding which one to go on, which mid ground or whatever. They need to make a decision pretty soon here. They have plenty of time still probably. But looking at the guy on high ground, important thing that they noted is the guy by himself. No. There's two. It's so much easier to double land on a guy when he's by himself versus if there's both duos or both of the duos up there. So really nice. Picking the spot to land on. Try to spot anybody building solo. Much easier to get a clean landing off and get a kill for possible more mats, for possible everything.
Yeah, land on the hill, like normal landing. They have a med kit guys on top, though.
Yeah, dude, don't go to height limit. I don't know what to tell you.
Come with me.
It's a bug right now. You can't really do it.
Are we in zone yet? One more. Okay. Come.
Okay, it's going even higher up on, I think this is Viking Hill?
On top of us?
Yeah, Viking Hill. They're on the greasy side.
Hit him. 160. That guy's not picking again.
Nice. Double ramping up towards the hill. Very nice. One thing that was cool is he knew that he didn't need to look to either side, and he just basically gambled. His teammate might need to do something different, but it's good. Getting together. Ooh, this is Monka.
Nice. I'm with you. I'm just with you right now.
Nice. Look at this nice tunneling, right? Very nice tunneling. Everybody needs to know like the different ways to tunnel.
One guy died, both of us.
Finnex is showing us a masterclass right now for sure.
I've got 4 punches, so I've got 4 punches.
Yeah, we can use it. You can use it. We get hide. We can use it.
Don't use it now?
Yeah. No, they don't hide.
Good. Do they have it? Nice cone.
Do you have
A
it?
little bit awkward because the building is really laggy.
Do it. We have it.
Look, guys. 90s, boys. They actually happen. Oh, my God. Oh, my God, bro. Fortress. High ground take. Late. That was awesome. That was really cool. Basically, I think you know basically the first off, you're gonna break builds with your Porta Fortress, and I think it's like what, 5 tiles or higher, something like that. So depending on how high ground is, you can use this to great effect. If you have a Porta Fortress, you can basically stay a little bit under high ground for a little while and then surprise them with the Porta Fortress. And look how few people there are. There's only 5 left, and it's about to be final zone. So definitely something surprising on high grounds. Really nice. They just threw it directly under them, and then they fought for high.
The Porta Fortress. I have 300 medals still, so we can skybase it.
I have 70. I have 70.
Yeah, just do fucking.
This isn't gonna go to heal. I think that's something that they should be cognizant of. Look how he forks. He goes out to the side over here while Vorwenn goes over there. It's really nice. It gives him a different angle that Vorwenn is gonna have a different one as well. So again, the forked tarping. We saw this many times in like Zayt and Saf's VOD review. We saw it in Vivid and Chap's VOD review.
Just do a huge skybase.
Forking up.
Going down to touch it? Okay, no worries, no worries.
I think he... Wait, okay.
With you?
Yeah. I was gonna say, you definitely need to
We're completely attached now.
go down or not leave them or whatever.
Nowhere. I'm legit gonna shoot this one.
Look at that again. This is a really cool thing. He builds out a little bit and then comes out to the side, and now he's getting an angle over here that this guy down below isn't really necessarily ready to do, and it gives you a better look back. If you look this way, you can't actually see all the people who are running this way. You only get to see them when they're gonna build. So you need to try to get ahead of them on high ground. If you get ahead of them, then you can actually get the shots.
Yeah, it's super attached. They will not break it down. I don't think they will.
I've got bandages still.
Those Mitro fingers. I didn't even look at the camera.
I'm going down. You have the bandages, right?
Yeah, I have bandages. Oh, stay alive, stay alive.
They're white. You win. 100%.
All he needs to do is not fall. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, next one. 230. Break a few scrims in the meantime. Okay. Something to Keva. Can't watch the stream, but we'll certainly watch the YouTube vid. Let's go! EULTM is great. What was it, Destiny? A lot of people were talking and trying to figure out what the heck it was. I don't really understand, but it's all good. Okay, let's move into the next game. Move into the next game.
No, the east houses.
Really? We can land here then?
Yeah, and then we can go to the block.
I'm going northeast then.
This is really nice. Landing lazy, or you can tell, you can get a really good, especially when depending on the bus, you can get a really good image of who's dropping here, who's dropping block, who's dropping Tomato Temple. And if for some reason it doesn't get contested and lazy is getting contested, you might as well use this as a secondary option. This isn't like a on the fly adjustment when you do get contested when you're already at lazy like we talked about before, but this is like a kind of like, oh, this isn't contested. We practice this. Let's do this, right? Very nice. Having the river houses block as a backup landing if they aren't getting contested. Hitting. Nice landing, Finnex.
I want to start shooting so bad. I'm so jealous. That works too. Purple.
I have full shield.
Is it not? Okay. You're not going. I cannot go.
Okay, they don't get contested at all. They get a plane.
All the rails are there.
Nah, straight. Look at houses.
It's yeah.
One thing I love that they're doing with the plane is just going as far center zone as possible. As far center zone as possible. They don't care about stopping for loot. They don't care about anything. They just freaking go as far center zone as possible. Because they can just chill for the rest of the game. And that's basically giving them way more opportunity of getting placement. Sure, they don't necessarily have the mats, the mobility, the weapons, the ammo, all of that shit.
That's a loaded Monka. Okay, we're taking this then.
But getting here so far ahead of anybody else gives you the opportunity to loot all the extra stuff that's not looted typically. So here, nobody dropped chair.
Oh, free mechas.
Thing that's different about snipe scrims versus custom, excuse me, is chair is definitely gonna be
we
looted.
don't even need that many mats. Like you need to be like max.
Chair is somebody that people drop all the time in customs. All the time.
Okay, well, be careful. Then we shoot. Go on top. We can just take the top and replace it. Yeah, it's perfect.
This is so fucking free, dude.
Perfect.
So free.
Do you wanna replace?
Yeah. I'm gonna go down a few levels. Just
So free. The idea right away, so using the plane early and getting as centered as possible is so freaking good. You get to basically sit around the entire game. No risk. I mean, there is risk of people realizing, hey, this guy's up there, he's good, he probably has mats, he probably has loot, let's go kill him. But in reality, that's the opposite. They're legit clipping.
Yeah, I will be on top.
They're legit clapping. Yo, they landed the plane. No, they can take this plane later. Can you imagine? They just take the plane later. Okay, the other thing I wanted to note was immediately landing on the best spot in Polar. And something that they did that I think Finnex said, or maybe Vorwenn, I couldn't tell. One person farms up top, other person takes bottom, takes a few floors down, right? Now, again, it's kind of that separate angles type of thing, but in more reality, it's the person who stays up top is trying to zone people away, say, hey, we have this castle, this is our castle, you're not going to farm it, you're not going to come loot it, this is ours. While the rest of the other guy goes down and loots, he sees if there's any extra loot, anything people left behind, and he farms anything that is actually valuable throughout the house, whether it's wood, whether it's brick, whether it's metal. There's like the table that gives like 90,000 brick, whereas the guy who's on top, his job is just to chill and push anybody who might come at them away. Yeah, Vorwenn staying up top, he's just farming the floors, and in reality he should stay up top, and then they should swap spots. Eventually they can swap spots. Oh, the plane is falling. No. Poor plane, dude. Poor plane. Okay, we're not gonna watch this. I'm fucking blessed, dude.
I won't shoot anymore since I have 125 now.
2K mats because they went to zone early.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got only 12, but something. Oh, take the rift, take the rift. Give me a minute or a medkit, I don't care.
2K mats.
Okay, we got the plane in this one.
Yep.
Your keep big. They have like a decent path in.
On the plane on the sky. Yeah. Top, we can just. Just farming, bro.
No way. This is the play. This is the play. Just go to the sky with the plane and stay up there and start shooting tunes and shit with the team, with your team of planes up in the sky.
30 seconds. You cannot die. Changing my. You want to move it. Bro,
Wait, what? How are they
Jump in the
here?
zone.
How are they here? They didn't get shot at all. What are you talking about? This is freaking first moving zone, and they didn't get.
Not even jump.
What the fuck,
You
bro?
have to use it again, the turbo on top. Monka S, bro.
Yo.
Okay, the zone is moving now. Oh, look at them, they're under us. What's up, boy? That's so
No, that's
Monka,
cool.
dude.
He's actually using
I guess
the
it's later.
engine. He's staying up
Look
ahead of the
at them, they can
zone, using the
fucking
engine, cutting it,
hijack.
and he's able to
Bro,
basically
everyone's
glide
in
his
that
plane wherever he wants. This is
It
freaking
must-
dope.
Must be freaking. Bro, they can hijack us 100%. Be careful. Okay, we're good, we're good, we're good.
Nice, nice, nice. This is a ridiculous strat, dude.
We're chilling. We're legit chilling, bro.
We're legit chilling. I love it, dude.
Jump out soon. 100%.
Nah, man, stay up.
Bro, we can jump out. We have the glider, right?
Just stay high, stay high.
Yeah, yeah, just glide 2 hours.
We can even play low ground if you want this zone. I don't know. Oh, we have so
I
many
would have stayed in the
maps,
plane, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can
Nah,
just
go
for
low.
it.
You have the rift. Fuck it.
For height, you see
Yeah.
right below- right
We
below.
can legit get it. We can legit get it if we
Land
want
on
to.
him. Yeah, do you want to land on him?
Okay, for one team.
Oh, he's by himself. This is what we were talking about before, man.
No,
We were
wait.
talking about before.
Land on the brick and then. Yeah, yeah, land, land, land. Here.
The thing that's funny about this strat is getting rid of the plane actually makes sense when you think about it, because gliding is going to be better. The plane, everybody will see the plane falling down, right? Everybody will see the plane falling down, and also when you go up in the plane, people don't realize that you're up there, especially once you get rid of the plane and just start gliding. The thing is, when you rift, you make a noise. It makes the big, sound cracking, sky cracking noise, and then all of a sudden you see people coming out of the sky. For this case, this guy had no idea that they were up there because there was no rift sound. No rift sound makes it easy to land on people, and again, targeting the solo on high ground. Freaking easy.
Got it? I got it, I got it. Yeah.
Check zone, check zone, check zone.
Okay, go together. Just skybase.
Doing high.
This is so
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, it's Harmas. Just a skybase it. One guy, people rifting on the air. One guy is landing quick. We don't have shots. We're Gucci.
High, stay high.
One guy's not landing on us. Nice.
Just come on, come on, come on. Just stay above these guys. Don't even try fighting, we don't need kills.
Yeah, no worries.
Uh oh.
You have the rift, you have the rift. It's good. They rifted. If we fell down,
Oh. As soon as they hear the rocket, the RPG, they call, you have the rift, you can use it. Or in case of getting shot out. This is so
Well,
free
not
though, they
together
have
with the rift,
so many
that's
freaking mats.
not even worry.
They can make this
Not
wide
even
enough that the
worrying about
rocket won't even freaking shoot them down.
Oh, nice, that's perfect.
Uh oh.
Okay. Rift? Oh, no. Yeah, rifted.
No,
Rift,
did he make
rift.
it far enough? Okay, good, good, good.
They have hide now?
He's gonna take it.
Guys, do you want to land on him? One guy,
We
right?
can
It's
land.
two, it's two.
No, it's two.
Do you want to play low ground with 3 medkits?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, go. Hold on. That's good.
The 3 medkits is useless though, because of 10 tick, right?
Can you do walls?
Oh, do they have a campfire?
Yeah, I can do. I can do walls. No worries. I got you the walls, bro. Sorry. There's a fucking portal fortress. We need to break it. Okay, this one is not ending on the portal fortress. We need to keep expanding though.
I've got medkits.
One cast.
Down. Oh,
You're down?
yeah.
Where are you?
Come back out. No, I can't come back out.
Look how he looked all around before he really made a commitment to the
That's good.
the edit through there.
I'm
He's
sorry, I
trying to
don't
get
see
back
any
to his
shit.
teammate.
I can't see
Yikes.
shit. Okay. You're alone. They're
Yikes,
fighting, they're legit
dude.
fighting.
What is this?
bro. You win. They're legit all fighting, bro. All fighting. You have it, 100%. You need to time it good.
Can't heal anymore.
Nice. It's a 1v1. How many HP? Oh, he had no medkit either. 0 kills though. Oh, that was so close.
Bruh, 10 HP. That was so close. I don't know if going for the medkit there was the right play or the right idea. I think they should have been fighting. Number one, based on the amount of people who were up. Number two, just having one medkit is enough. Like going for a heal off is fine, but I don't know. Once he got knocked down, I don't know. I don't know how Vorwenn got lost, but those nades like ruined everything, pretty much. Once they were super low. Why did they end up rifting? That's my question.
They rifted. If we fell down together with the rift. It's good. Not even worrying. Not even worrying about that.
In the sky.
Oh, nice. That's perfect.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Rift? Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, rifted.
Oh, it was just like a panic kind of thing. I don't think they needed to do it. I think this lost them the game.
Rifted. It's good. They have hide now?
Okay, so, do you wanna land on him?
We can land. No, it's 2.
Do you wanna play?
Yeah. Yep. So super well played. I really like the fucking idea.
Never.
Nice. Okay, we're gonna skip this one as we are behind schedule. Okay, 03:58.
With us at 125. Again. I can take. Bro, I'm taking. Yeah, I'm taking plane spot. Take there's a llama. I will take it as well. I will take plane spot. I will take a plane. I will take a llama. It's perfect.
Team landed at the 120 houses.
Making an adjustment to their drop based on the llama.
Okay. We can look for the blood.
We're gonna skip the early game.
Nice, bro.
There's a fight. We'll watch it. I love watching fights. This is like the spot that I feel like we can learn the most from.
What's it called? Come use the choke jug right up top. In the
Wait, what? Check. Ooh. I will drop you the big post. Carry them. I don't need the other one. I will carry this. Oh, bro. Can you protect me? Until I use this?
Oh, bro, just get in the basement.
The nades too. This is awkward.
Oh,
Neither of them got their heals
bro.
off. Oh no. Shambles. This is a good push from the other team.
Want your help? I have nothing, bro.
Oh, he didn't get the freaking shotgun. Okay, how do they win this? Alright. That was easy.
Okay, nice.
All of a sudden they're back into it.
He's on me. Under me.
Nice switch instantly. Getting some damage in there while you can, while that guy wasn't watching. Nice. Those guys through. So that was cool. One thing was Finnex immediately when they get pushed tries to lose them. When they're playing these awkward like scrappy fights, it's really good to try to kind of like lose the scent. I don't know, to lose the guy's scent. Basically, the guy lost where he was and he wasn't able to keep track, and he's like, oh, he went to the basement, and really he's still up top. And in that situation, he kind of caught him by surprise. Guy early by surprise, easily knocked him, swinging the fight because he like switched his position so much. So switching positions as often as you can, especially in low mat fights, is key, especially when they lose track of you. Very nice. That saved the fight.
Though. Oh, no, they have a heavy
Because Vorwenn didn't get the chug jug. All nice, all nice, all nice.
I don't even loot up.
People, you're shooting us like monk.
Yeah, huge mobility.
Yes.
With the plane getting all the way towards the center and finding extra little loot pockets.
Love it.
Finding these extra little loot pockets.
Okay, Plane is perfectly parked.
And then parking on a rift.
He's coming to us.
Man, this position is so good, man. So good.
Oh,
Rift, an extra chest. Oh, somebody near them. This is awkward because of the rift. What is this guy doing?
I'm gonna loot him. I'm gonna loot him. Okay. Like that's free loot.
Where's his teammate?
He's going all the way down. His teammate is
Where's
in
his teammate?
Spot, like, Westworld. I'm gonna kill him.
Oh, by Westworld. I think that was a mistake. I don't think this guy realized that they were up there.
Too big part of the Deagle. Is there a rift on top? Yeah, right?
yeah.
Or something else. I'm 8
Blast! Loot delivery system. That's nice.
max 2, so
Right, killing people's good. Killing people's good. We got kill incentive.
Come. Nice.
Rotating early with the rifts.
Where should we land though?
I don't know which position he's gonna get here.
It's like massive turtle 330. It's like
Yeah,
literally
you
up
see it.
330. Yeah, we can land there.
You wanna go on top?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, let's do it. I think it's free as well.
Wait, Shadow. Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah, I think
Wait,
one cars. Where's that? I'm gonna do.
Bro, it feels bad, dude. Get destroyed.
He has probably spare wood, so I'm expanding here to the bottom. Yeah, he has spare wood. Okay, there's
okay, teammate 80.
there's minis, bro. 2 minis and 1 medkit. We need to carry that medkit. I'm gonna carry the medkit. There's 2 minis. You need to go down, take them. And there's spare metal, spare wood. So if you can, on the stink is maybe you can stink it. Yeah, I got you another one.
I like how they weren't too super thirsty on the other guy. They got loot. They're like, okay, that's good. Fuck it, we're done.
This guy's teammate.
And now they also got the base from this guy. They got the position and they got the loot. So no thirsting. I mean, not like super crazy thirsty for extra people. Knocking one part of the duo doesn't mean go crazy and get the other guy. You saw Finnex did want him, but Vorwenn was down below. This is good. The guy backed off. Finnex chased him away, and there's no possibility of the guy coming back and basically being a nuisance to them. So it's really nice.
No, he's loot.
No, we don't need to. We don't need to. Legit don't need to. Like, wow, trust me, bro. We legit need to do nothing. Like, don't take any damage. We legit can win.
This is such a good presence to have on your duo, man. Is the guy who's just like, dude, we're good, we're chilling, we have everything we need.
I know.
Like, we don't need to do anything else. When you have this voice, it's so much easier to like
we legit got this game, bro. We got this.
put games behind you.
Monka, I'm sending dancing.
So easy.
We got zone.
So easy.
That's holy shit.
What the?
Yeah, those guys from the.
If they open up again, let them and I'll squad launch them.
You wanna do it?
Yeah,
I'm gonna put the fucking quad in on them. What a quad if I heard it. Fucking clap them.
Wait, it's gone
We got- Do we got people on top? Yeah. Monka ass.
Oh boy.
Wait, wait.
Bro, what are these people doing?
Oh, oh, there's a grappler.
How much is it? Oh, man.
Can you hear it?
That guy's by himself.
Yeah,
Why? It's a
bro.
duo scrim,
Hey,
dude. What are you
41,
doing?
brick.
He literally has his freaking.
Yep.
What is his duo doing?
Yep. Oh, coming. Okay, okay, we need to expand to the other side.
Let's do this. Oh.
Monka, there's a plane.
I don't know.
First, I'm first. We're Gucci. You have grappler and I have launch pad.
Chilling on the high ground with tons of mats on the side of the zone. 30 people left.
But it's northeast.
Look here at the back.
Guys
bro.
are good. These guys are chilling. They're legit chilling.
Somewhere close.
I like it.
Yeah, here.
Grappler explodes. Max mats.
He died.
Oh,
I can give you the.
8 minis.
You got minis?
Nice. You saw that? That was something small, but Finnex starting getting shot here, and Vorwenn jumps in front to build. That was nice. Because even if Finnex is fine, even if he gets this wall, these guys can continue to spam and he can't put layers into himself unless he backs up. So instead of making him back up, Vorwenn just jumps in front and makes another box, and these guys are going to be done. They're going to be like, okay, we're good. We don't need to shoot anymore. Nice. When Finnex gets pressured, Vorwenn jumps in front and builds another layer of protection for him. Sick play. Super sick play. That's what you want from your teammate, man. Find you somebody who will literally jump in front of bullets for you. Except don't find somebody who shoots your face down.
I'll hide though. People here, am I right?
They try to expand, I can just knock them down.
Are they got one guy? We need to move normal, we need to move on top of people basically. Shoot them down.
You shoot me down, I'll shoot you down. Oh shit.
That guy got hide on us? Let him. Let's go mid ground. Yeah. Let's go down.
Look at the speed how Finnex reacts to Vorwenn's calls. He's already doing it before Vorwenn is even really calling it, and then as soon as Vorwenn calls it, he's just like, okay, let's go.
We're gonna keep going high. We need to attach the people though. I'm attaching to people, it's attached. I need to come to you though.
Ooh!
It's attached again,
Nice. We saw how he was about to place that floor on top of Vorwenn, but he places in front, not blocking his teammate. This is crucial. Not blocking teammate, recognizing height at all times, basically knowing the status at all times. We saw they lost it, and then 3 seconds later they got it again, but some people might not even realize, right? So
again.
What is this guy doing?
Go over them, it's only 20 people alive. It's only 20 alive. I still have a medkit though.
I connected, we have full height,
Yeah, we need to attach it to the base though. If you can, if the zone is there. Can you attach it to the base? Even if the zone is miles away? There's no hard mats. I have 1k metal still. We're perfect.
Something that I notice is how he's hard connecting. He's making walls all around the sides. I don't know if that's necessarily worth. I think you can just build the wall from your high ground. You can connect much easier and less mats. It doesn't have to be that safe, the connection points.
Nice, you laser that kid.
Just having multiple connection points is the key, I think.
Have you got rockets me or not?
Again, here's the forked. This is the forked tarp, the forked carpet.
Do you got rockets? Yes, of course. Wait. No, I don't. Monka.
He said, do you have rockets? He says, do I have rockets? Yes, of course. Yes. He's like, no, I don't.
I'm gonna attach it to the bottom. Attach it again. It's attached. We cannot fold yet. I'm doing super hard mats. Yeah, let's keep doing it. It's super fucking huge, bro. We have the full height, like the whole fucking zone.
Again, you saw how hard he turtled. You saw how hard he tarped. You saw how hard he tarped, and then he just makes a little bit of a turn and then shoots back. This is ideal. You catch all of these people on the side of the zone. Harping way forward, getting ahead of all the snakes, making a little bit of a hole. It's not really a hole, it's just a gap, and shooting backwards on people is so much better. Shooting forwards, just shooting, barely tarping and shooting from the back of your tarp, right? This is the play. This is the way you gotta do it, because number one, you're not risking taking damage from zone because you are so far ahead. Number two, you're shooting on everybody who's in shambles trying to get to zone. These are easy damage. You'll see so many people sitting on the side of the zone trying to tarp on top, taking a shot and then building one, taking a shot and then building one, and they can't even really get eyes on people because everybody's down way far below them.
Perfect. Okay. Just spray people down, dude. We got this. Go for the kills now. Down, like I said.
Literally free.
Keep spraying down.
Them-
We got this.
Okay.
Going back on
It's,
ourselves.
it goes all the way back. Yeah, it's perfect for us. It's perfect. I'm gonna check the number
Literally
goes up.
free.
Okay.
There it is
You
again.
deal with
The
medkit
same
since you're
thing.
already low HP.
Yeah, we can.
I can drop you. Come.
Can you carry this?
Oh, I got them. No worries. Yeah, there's one guy here.
Stay out. We need to go down there.
I feel like it should be the opposite. I don't know. This is probably up for debate, but I feel like it should be the opposite. The person who has more HP should go for the heal because they're gonna last longer, and the person who has low HP, I mean, I don't know. I guess it really, yeah, it does matter. I think getting the 2 extra seconds that Finnex would have, or Vorwenn would have over Finnex, is okay. Yeah, it would be 2 ticks, right? 1 extra tick. It would just be a 1 extra tick actually, because you have to play at 90.
Just
No worries, no worries.
So that's not a big deal.
It's good. I'm not gonna go for him yet. Whoa, Monka us. Monka, nice.
That's not a big deal.
I've still got 2 rockets in my thingy.
But if it was like more than maybe 2 ticks, I would say that's a huge deal.
Come on.
Hit that guy for so hard. I hit that guy so hard. You're gonna need to hold up. I need to kill them all. I need to kill them all. Just hold up. You have the medkit. You have the medkit. You have the medkit, bro. Just don't do anything. We need to win by 3.
Win by free. Let's go.
Just go down to late.
Yeah. We got this. We got this. I will go down on them. One is so low already. One guy's trying to grapple up.
It'd be nice if you
Be
spam
okay.
the quad
One there.
down on them while he's doing this. Ooh, connecting right back. Now it's impossible to get knocked out. Pretty much
Yeah.
impossible unless he finds the perfect
70
square.
HP. Yeah, you win. You win by heal game. He's low. I'm gonna block him on the stone.
Let's go, bro.
Let's fucking go.
That's really, really nice. That's really, really nice that Vorwenn, when he's being the aggressor down on low ground, he is constantly telling Finnex status updates. You win this, you win this, you win by heal. I'm going to block him out of zone. All of the status updates is so crucial. If Vorwenn goes down, Finnex needs to know all the information that he basically gave him while he was fighting down there. You can't just go silent. You can't say you go for heal and then go silent. And the other thing is Finnex should be giving him status updates on how many people are dead or are alive. So Finnex needs to give updates on what he knows and can pay attention to. Players left alive, and then Vorwenn is giving status updates on everything about what the people down there on low grounds positions are. And you'll never see both of them basically jump down like psychos,
Bro,
almost
let's
ever.
fucking go.
Let's
Even if you don't have heals, you can stay in that final zone and just sit there as long as possible. Typically the
Fucking
freaking
go, bro.
games are gonna go
Easy fucking clap.
farther than that. So I mean are gonna end before the heal even happens. They're gonna end before the heal even happens. Okay, we got one more game. One more game. What's that? Reloads, VOD review, commandment, high sky, waffle, and eyes, 40 kill peen core win. That sounds so stupid, dude. That's a yikes. Oh, dude, I have a cavity for sure. For sure. All right, where's the next game? 4:30.
go, bro.
Let's go, bro.
I have no game sense and all the mechanics get 80 kill scrims left and right. Let's go, Code. Let's go. What up, Cease?
Wait, no.
I'm running plane spot then.
Go for it, yeah, I got you.
I love the split that they do. Plains
One team.
by Lazy and the river houses. Very nice. Very nice.
Nice. This one's kinda close. There's a slurp in the...
One big foot.
And
Use it.
Let's skip this early game if we can, as long as they don't get contested.
Monka ass, where's the big pot? You got it?
No, it's. I
Which
gotta.
pot?
I don't know. Dude, last time I
Not
showed you.
taken.
This bridge.
Wait, that's your one.
Really.
Like it's going to the bridge. It's unloaded. The bridge is unloaded.
So it's lucky.
Look at this split. Okay. 35 left. This lobby sucks.
It is?
They're a lot more comfortable doing this when there's only 35 left. I don't know what happened in this lobby.
Why are people in here?
It's trash.
Monka ass.
Monka.
I can leave,
We're
I
gonna
can
watch
leave.
it anyways. Because I still
I
saw
can
some
leave, they're
pros in the
totally-
lobby.
they're totally.
And that you-
Let's go. Let's.
This is a crazy split though.
I don't even know him.
I love they literally their game plan is always farm as much as possible in the early game, get planes, go center zone, farm the shit out of a house or building or something like that. Super simple.
Let's poggers. 29 life, brother. This is it.
Based about.
Lord. Yeah, no, and the
Literally
fucking
every
true
single
button
time
was, yeah,
they
so-
just get such a great position
One, two. I'm gonna pick.
from the
One,
other
two,
side of the
three. We
map.
don't even need to shoot. Be careful,
Fucking
no rust.
free.
They're looking at us. Oof.
This lobby sucks.
Monkas, bro.
Feels bad.
Calm down, my friend.
I still have 2 boomboxes as well.
All right, 16 left in first moving zone.
Right below us.
At least it's
Getting
something.
kills.
At least it's something. What's up, Strugs?
There is it. Low ground. We have 2 medkits, so we Gucci.
I don't think they have mobility in this game. That could spell an issue, but it probably won't. Probably won't be bad at all.
Can you do what's me?
Ooh, that Porta Fortress that they just saw is going to be in zone, or at least it's going to go over it. That'd be really nice
Wait,
to
I
get
think
to.
the
All right, sorry. I thought this was the
Goes in.
before it started moving.
Doesn't matter, doesn't matter. We low ground, dude.
Yeesh.
Big pot, you have to. You have time.
Dude, Vorwenn is like nuts at. Vorwenn just literally knows always what's in Finnex's inventory. Like, I don't know how often I'm just like, how does he know that he has this stuff? Because he's Spanish. Inventory. What a crazy memory, I guess. So, and then I also talked about like the game plan. Game plan is obvious and so good. Farm up early game, get a plane, get position, fuck fighting. Ooh, also check all vending machines. Cause he watches his stream. Yo, 200 IQ, dude.
Can you like build for us?
Check on theirs, be careful.
We've got
200 IQ, dude. If Vorwenn has my stream up on his other screen to look at my inventory, that's actually fucking 200 IQ. Or as Finnex. This is basically recreating a fucking LAN environment. Because on LAN, you're going to be doing this. On LAN, you're going to be like, yeah, let's do this. I'm going to be watching your screen. That's perfectly fine. That happens all the time. Happens all the time. It's so useful to look at each other's screens. So that's actually 200 IQ. 200
we're
IQ.
up the hill.
Just
Okay.
go up like this.
This is so scary. I guess everybody grapple the head. There's only 13 people, so you can do this.
So hard.
No! Splitting, I'm scared.
Can you come with me? Okay, we're chilling. We're together. Nice. We're chilling.
Twins do each other? Yeah, that's dope.
I still have 500 wood, 600 wood. Okay, we need to spend that way. Okay, let them breathe. Perfect. Okay, everyone is killing each other. That's perfect. Just low on this.
For me.
Hit him.
Nice. Separate angles. I always talk about this, but they're both shooting at a different, slightly different angle, and it gives them more opportunities. I'm just gonna point it out over and over and over to drill it in people's heads, like always getting separate angles. Always.
Okay. I'm with you. No one is our back. No one is our back.
Nice snake.
I'm near the walls. We're perfect. We're together.
Very nice.
Got one.
Okay. Don't go for hide yet. I can do one rocket. Maybe I blow the thing
Bro,
off.
look high ground, look high ground, look high ground.
He's running low on mats.
We're good.
Nice, dude. The thing is that's cool is Finnex is never like committing to fights. He's just taking little shots at people and just moving along. He's like, screw it, let's just move along. Takes pot shots and moves on. I don't care. He actually, you know what? He moves on and actually gets mad distance between people.
Need to move. This way.
Yeah, I'm following you.
No one's here. Be careful, I'm gonna break forward. I'm gonna
I've
make it
only
forward.
got 100 mats, I've only got 100 mats.
I have no mats to go high. The guys on high are going down. The guys on high are going down. I'm gonna keep layering.
I don't know if there's anything they can do to take height anymore.
Yeah, only 100. I can give you. Bet you. I'll take the. Okay, you got it.
Nice.
On top. Need to reload. I can try to get hide.
That's something that's really important when you do fall. You saw how he jumped up and immediately placed this wall and then placed the floor above. I know you guys can't see, but covering the top is something that when you fall, you need to have a good recovery plan and option from there. So Finnex has a really nice, easy method of getting back up and to cover his top. Don't forget to cover top. It's something super basic, but people forget it all the time. They fall down, they're like, oh, I need to get back up, and they forget to place that wall in the floor above them, and they get beamed for it.
Got one. It's from different teams though. I'm here.
That was cool too. Some slight little movements, but he, just like I was saying before, he doesn't like full commit. You saw him try to get in the guy's box, and that would have been really nice for him, but then the guy got on top of him, and Finnex immediately moved back and made a different position so that this guy couldn't cycle onto him. So no longer making it a foot like a 50-50 fight in that late game. Minor movement adjustments when it's possible to end up getting into a 50-50. At first, Finnex was like, yeah, I want to take it to this guy. He's not paying attention to me. But then the guy started paying attention, and he immediately backed off and got to a position where this guy couldn't get into his box. Couldn't get into his box.
What is it, 40 minutes?
No way. Was that the play? Oh, shit.
Mess.
Go on high, fix him.
Did that do anything?
I got
Okay, it didn't actually do anything. It was in zone.
One guy on high, one guy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Nice. That was fucking dope.
standing. Wait to use the medkits, bro. Come, keep going.
Finnex is clutching up right now, dude.
Down.
You got it?
Finnex is
Let's go,
clutching
bro.
up, dude.
Nice fucking
Oh,
That was dope. That was dope. That was so well done, focusing on what he needed to do, which is get the kills.
medkits, bro.
That's very, very well done.
Yeah.
This edit right here, this
Go
edit
high.
was so smart.
I got 200 big.
One guy on height, one guy.
He saw him fall on him, and then he knew that
Yeah,
it was
no.
his floor. That's nice. Pressuring people to try to connect off high ground forces them to make mistakes like landing and trying to connect with your build, and you can simply edit them down. And that's the other thing about properly snaking, because if you build a full structure around you every single time you go, you basically extend. If you do that every single time, it's gonna be so much harder to edit people down like that. So if you have a proper snake where you're only covering what you need to cover, if you're only covering the side walls or only covering the back wall, for example, and you're not covering the front at all, it makes it much easier to make these plays. That was really nice. And then again, constant tracking and knowing when the circle is going to close. He knows he doesn't have room anymore, and he just keeps his pump on people. He just keeps the pump out. You saw he wasn't making any plays. This is a mistake that people make all the time, is the final zone. I have a shotgun. I got, there's only 6 people left, and they try to make all sorts of edit plays and everything like that. These guys did it right here, right? Guys right up here. They did what I'm talking about. Watch, this guy right here thinks he has an edit, but in reality, he gets beamed for 90. He has an edit. No, 152. He does not need to come down on these guys. He really doesn't. He had shield and he had 100 HP or something like that. Well, actually, I guess I shouldn't say that he has 100 HP. He at least had shield, so he probably has some health. What he needs to do is maybe go get an angle outside his zone, maybe, or just wait for these guys to panic and decide, oh, I need to shoot you guys out, right? That's what he needs to do. He doesn't have any room anymore. He just keeps his pump on people rather than trying to make edit plays. The advantage is to them because they have good HP. Just force people to try to make plays on you when you are ready for it. Right? He's sitting there ready for all of these people. He's freaking sitting there ready for them, and they all die because of it. So that's really nice. And then what else does he do? The other thing that he does is he stays so perfectly inside of this circle right here. He's so good at just like making these little micro adjustments to get in the zone and not take much storm damage at all. Some people are really bad at that, let me tell you. Not me. I'm a bot. All right, guys, I think that's gonna be a wrap. I think the biggest takeaway from these notes is pretty much the plan that they have. It's really good for placement games. It's super good. The one thing that it's missing is playing for kill incentive, but obviously they're not playing for kill incentive in this tournament, so it makes a lot of sense. But this plan for placement games is freaking fantastic. Farm up early game, get as much as you can early game, and just go for position as much as possible, and look for all the vending machines so you can get anything that you don't have. Go for the mid game supply drops and stuff like that, rather than trying to kill people for it. And then just having really solid teamwork is nice as well. We saw like the first game they got blessed from a really struggling position, so super nice. I appreciate you guys allowing me to watch those games and review them, and that's gonna be a wrap here. I appreciate you guys on YouTube for checking it out, and if you did enjoy that, please like, subscribe, and do all the things on the rest of the social media, and we'll be back with more VOD reviews on Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern. So if you're interested in checking it out, come over to that Twitch, click that follow button, and follow me on Twitter. We're gonna have all the announcements there. Thank you so much. Peace.